Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Sim on this new Tuesday series. Thought we'd do something different. Going to break out the helicopters and get a little low flying in these wonderful beasts. So today we are in Cardiff, Wales. We're going to fly up along the north side of the Bristol Channel, up the Severn River. We're heading up to the Gloucestershire airport. It's not a long flight, but I figure we'd do it to dust off the helicopter here, get our skills back, and see what we can do. I did fly this a little bit over a year ago, did some sightseeing trips in it, but wanted to get back, just have a little bit of fun. So we are in multiplayer if you want to join in. This is going to be on Tuesdays when I'm available, and you can come to the Discord, get all the information about it, and join us on the flights. First several flights will be around southwestern England or so, and we'll see where we end up from there. Links to the Discord are in the video descriptions. I'm going to throw it into the chat as well. And like I said, on all my streams that we do, they are open for the community to come flying. Some of them, such as this one, and the tours on Wednesdays are multiplayer, and the rest are on VATSIM. But we're here at the Cardiff airport, again down on the southern coast of Wales, and we're going to be flying from here, as I mentioned, up towards Gloucestershire. Today, and for the next several episodes, we will be flying the Bell 47G that you see in front of us here. Bell 47 was designed in the late 40s. Really came into its own as a utility helicopter during the Korean War. If you remember the old TV show MASH, they were used for patient transfer from the front lines. On the landing gear there, you could put a stretcher on either side, and they'd carry them from combat to the field hospitals, boosting survival rates incredibly high. It is a low-altitude helicopter. It doesn't go very high. It's got a piston-powered engine connected to a two-bladed rotor, and as you can see, the cabin holds two, and yeah, light utility helicopter, I guess we would call it. But let's hop on board. We'll get her fired up, and we'll see how much I remember about how to fly this thing. Well, so we're in the chopper now. I'm going to get our view up and going. Okay, I gotta reset my camera view here. There we go. Using track IR to give me head movement. Of course, in the helicopter becomes a little bit more important. So here we are, pretty basic and simple controls. If you've never flown a helicopter, it is all hands and feet on deck for this one. So in the center, you can see we've got the stick left, right, and forward and back, and it controls the angle of the rotor disc on top. We have the collective down here. As you can see there, it has a twist throttle, and up and down controls the pitch of the blades. And of course we have the anti-torque pedals here, which controls the pitch on the rear tail rotor, which increases and decreases the push, which counteracts the torque of the engine spinning that big propeller up above us. So let's come down here and get this thing fired up and warmed up. So the instrument lights are on. We're going to throw the beacon on now. Landing lights are off. We're going to switch our temperature gauge over to oil temperature. Landing lights here are off. Come up. We're going to turn on the battery and the master. So that is up and going now. We can tune our radio in to Honeycomb. Not that we're going to be using it, but just force a habit. So we'll put that in 122.8, and we are on VFR. We can push that on. Come on, standby. That's the thing about the Track IR headset. Moves around a little bit as well. So we're going to put the mixture full rich. We're going to leave it there for the entire flight. Carb heat is cold. We're not expecting icing. We're on live weather. There's just a few clouds in the area. Current temperature in Cardiff is about 2 degrees, but the skies are pretty clear, and there's just a few clouds up at Gloucester, so we should be okay. Mags, we're going to turn to both, and we are ready to go. So collective is fully down, and we're going to hit the engine starter. All right. So my one complaint about this helicopter, this is the fly inside Bell 47. My one complaint about this one is the fact that the rotor speeds up far too fast. It should take a lot longer as the clutch comes in and it tries to overcome the inertia of the heavy blades. But she's up and running. Now we've got traffic has come on over there. That 747-800 is starting to roll. So what we're going to do is we're going to hover taxi out pretty much straight ahead to the runway, and we're going to take off to the southeast down to the coast, and then we'll just be following the coast, and we'll point out the sights as we go along. Alright, so we're going to bring the collective up, as you can see, and we got to get ready to start controlling this thing. I don't know how well I'm going to do. It's been a while. A little bit of forward pressure and a little bit of left pedal. There we go, we're off the ground. So we're going to hover out to the runway. Try not to keep bouncing off the ground. It's little movements. This is the thing with these helicopters here. Now I do have a little bit of time in real life. Hello, Tyler. Oh, happy New Year to you too. I have about a half an hour flying one of these things for real with an instructor, and I tell everybody, hardest flying I have ever done. It was tough. Alright, so we're coming out to the runway now. We're a little high for a hover taxi, but that's fine. I'm going to try to slow down. It's all about equaling forces. You don't want to be dropping, you don't want to be going backwards as we were just doing there. It's all like head of a pin stuff. Anyway, we'll bring the rotor around, and as you add torque and release torque off the rear rotor, you have to add collective and release collective off the main rotor, so everything is balanced. Anyway, that airliner is gone, so we'll give ourselves a little bit of forward stick, and we will take off. 2022 is gone, and frankly, I'm glad to see the end of it in a lot of ways. Alright, so down we go. We're going to build up our speed. Of course, as we push forward, we got to add collective. And there we go. Got to add pedal to keep ourselves straight as well. And again, unlike an airplane where you can kind of trim it out, take your hands off and let her go, you can't do that in this thing. So there's the end of the runway. And there is the coast. So we're going to head, like I said, we'll get up to about 500 or 600 feet. And we're just going to follow the coastline. Nice little viaduct over there. So this is the little community of Barrie coming up. I'm going to fly over here on the top of the cliff. Very nice. A little bit of a haze out today. Sky's clear of clouds, as you can see, but it is a hazy day out. train station. The main part of town. Now once you're up into cruise speed, you can't ease off on the pedal. She'll fly a little sideways given the wind and everything and the engine torque, but it's you can rest your feet anyway, so you're not constantly putting in the inputs. Unfortunately, this is no hydraulic assist, so it is all pressure on, full tilt, no way to trim it. And just as a look at what we're flying here, there she is there. Again, very utilitarian helicopter here. So we're 500 feet roughly up. We're doing about between 70 and 80 miles an hour. We're on live weather. I did roll the time back, so the stream started at 11 a.m. local time. So late morning flight. Heading up into noon. But it is pretty hazy out today. So coming up ahead of us is the little community of Sully. A little coastal community here on the Bristol Channel. Bristol, England is the other side of the channel there. This area is famous as well, especially on the English side, of a lot of Viking and Norsemen coming over from Ireland and raiding up through the channel and going deep up to the heart of England. See, we're about 50 miles away from our destination. Gonna turn a little bit more to the north following the coast now. Heading for Cardiff itself. You see the sun shining in there. We got the reflection of the rotor mast in the window here. So ideally you'd be able to ease the mixture back and lean out the engine for optimum performance, but we're going to leave it where it is. We're not paying for fuel for this flight, so we're okay there. Alright. Let's head a bit more northeast. Notice there's no compass or GPS or anything. I do have a map up so I can see where we're headed. We're now over at Dinas Powys. Transmission temperature now. Oil's warmed up. There's Cardiff itself, the main city. Actually, no, we're not there yet. Sorry, that's Gibbon Downs. Yeah, good look down there. Coming into Cardiff itself. Let's see if we can find Cardiff Castle. Should be just up here to the north. It's one of the great things about the helicopters, or you can kind of go where you want and do some sightseeing. If you're ever in Cardiff in Wales, Cardiff Castle is an amazing place. A lot of history. Should be just down here somewhere. I don't think it's modeled. There's a stadium here. Castle's actually just down here somewhere. This is downtown Cardiff. Going, and we'll head out to the east here. We're going to come down to the coastline, and we're going to follow the coast out towards Newport. There's a lot of traffic out today on the multiplayer server. We're on the North Europe server. Eastern part of Cardiff City itself. Turn a little bit more over to the coast here. So there's the main rail line in. Again, no clouds, but pretty hazy. Now fly inside of Release the Bell 206. I'm going to give that one a try as well. See how that does. But I like this one. It's a nice, fun little helicopter to fly. See how much right pedal I've got to keep in on it to keep her going straight. I do like the sounds. You can hear the blades thumping as I change the disc angle. So we're coming out of Cardiff, we're heading up along the shore. This is the north shore of the Bristol Channel. And we'll be eventually coming up to the Severn River, which is what flows into the channel. And this is what separates the southern part of Wales from England. Over that way you've got Cornwall, Dorset, Somerset, the southwest. About 600 feet above sea level, which is basically what that water over there is. So 600 feet up, just flying along the coast, enjoying the view. So we'll be coming up to Newport soon, flying over the Newport docks. Sorry for the view shifting around like that, but I have to turn my head as I'm looking at different things. And with the track IR on, you're going to get all my head movements as I'm checking the stream, the chat, my maps, all that fun stuff. So fuel's good, we're just below half a tank. We got a golf course down below us. Oh, a little bit of a stutter there. Let's see how the channel. There's another channel leading off to the left. That's the Newport docks in there. Temperatures and pressures are all looking good. Heading at about a 58, 57 degree heading. We'll go overfly the Newport docks here. Can't wait to try this with Thrustmaster pendulum pedals if and when I get them. Hopefully it'll make it a little bit easier to fly. Definitely out in farm country now. Docks. dockyards. See the basic design of the helicopter. It's got a basically a uncovered scaffold boom to the tail rotor, 2 fuel tanks on either side of the rotor mast. You see the rotor mast with the swash plate, rotor head, counterweights, and then 2-bladed rotor with the engine exposed in the back. It's got the transmission and the differential, or the differential. Yeah, I guess differential. But you can see where the power from the engine is converted. One shaft going straight up to the rotor, another shaft coming out to the tail rotor. Lots of fun with all that. Got a football pitch off to the left. Don't even have an altitude hold in this thing, which makes it interesting. We have 35 miles to go to Gloucestershire Airport. Ground is going to rise slightly. We're heading inland, away from the coast of the channel at the moment. Turn slightly more to about a 050 heading now. And we're trying to keep around that 500-600 foot mark. Hills coming up. And we're coming up to the little town of Llanmartin. It's one of those Welsh words with the double L at the start. A little reservoir up here. Goes. There's the M4. Take that all the way off to England. The neat thing about this is once you kind of get everything kind of balanced, like we have right now, if I have to go up a little bit because of rising terrain, all I have to do is ease off on the forward pressure, and to balance it out, the helicopter will rise. If I want to go down, I just go ease forward, go a little bit faster, and we'll descend. It all balances. So we're going to head out over to the countryside now. See some of the hills here in Wales. Oh, there's our shadow. We're at 600 feet. Very nice January day down here in Wales. Do a quick weather check. Current weather in Gloucester. Winds are calm. Oh, looks like they might have a little bit of fog. It's -1. We'll see if the sim puts it in, but we may have a little bit of a weather issue. We'll see. We definitely got like a hazy effect going on. Hesitations there in the sim, not sure why. Watching our map. So we do have some, we're going to be flying over the bottom end of, looks like a park or something. So there should be some nice countryside. Just watching the ground elevation here. Farming area, farming community. And you can definitely see the terrain rising. We're going to be crossing over the little town of St. Arvins, north of Chepstow. And Chepstow is kind of the Welsh side where the Bristol Channel really narrows down, starts to narrow as we head towards the Severn River. We're up to 900 feet. So again, we've got rising terrain. Airport elevation where we're headed is 100 feet, so it's not too bad. fly over the town. It's just coming up here. Sun coming out. Oh yeah, everything's exposed back there, which is pretty cool. Should have put our strobes on. Get the other lights on. So there's the little community of St. Arvan's, nestled in the hills here. Come up to 1,000 feet. We're going to sneak around the hills here as we carry on. This is the River Wye, W-Y-E, well-known river here in Wales. See the coast coming up, so we're going to head back to the coast. Well, you can see how much the train has risen here, and then we'll follow the coast for a bit again. And for this series, we'll try to fly live weather as often as we can. Obviously, if it's horrendous, we'll go few clouds, because this is kind of a sightseeing trip. But we do want to keep it as real as we can, and given the time frames that I fly, we will be starting the flights at 11 a.m. local time. So we'll be rolling back the clock, so that we're in daylight. 22 miles to go. And we're back. See how much the channel is narrowed. So this is now considered the River Severn. You can see that fog forming out there. This could get interesting. Just throw the landing lights on. Put the spotlight on under the center nose of the aircraft. Yeah, definitely running into some weather here. visibility it was giving me. 750 feet. So basically it's fogged in. Yeah, no clouds, it's just a fog forming. To drop down a little bit here. Make sure we can keep seeing the ground. Sticking fairly close to the shoreline. There's 300 feet. Now we should get the river curving under us, heading to the left when it leaves the bank, so that's a good indicator of where we are. Try to keep it under 400 feet. Shouldn't have to worry too much about hills down here, really. I'll keep it at about 70 knots. 70 to 80. Or miles per hour, actually. Is it miles? Yeah, miles per hour. Coast of the river. Just turn to follow it. We are fairly level in flight. Now we got to watch the train. We're no longer taking sea level on the water for granted. It is going to be rising slightly. Looking to the sides here. Now the weather here was good about an hour before we took off, so this fog has come in fairly suddenly. Panatus, hello. How are you? How's Hungary? Hope you're having a good winter and a good 2023 so far. So we got some water on the windshield. Not sure if that's rain or if it's just forming out of the mist. We're doing okay. We're slowing down a little bit. Here's the coast. We're going to follow the coast. The edge of the river. Try to keep the speed up. Okay, 14 miles to go. Keep that 050-ish heading. A little bit high, losing our ground definition. So we'll come down again to about 400, 300 feet. There we go. Watching our vertical speed. Keep that heading. Try not to overcompensate. They weren't kidding when it was said it was fogged in. Alright, so we'll try to keep 300 to 400 feet. Keep an eye out for rising terrain. Keep heading in. We're down to 12 miles. We're out over the water. Crossing to the other side of the river. This is where it's made its turn to the west. There's the shoreline. And this is where it really narrows down into what you would actually consider as a river. Power lines, keep an eye out for them. Keep maintaining about a 050 to 060. Between 300 and 400 feet. Watching for anything suddenly appearing in front of us. I'm not seeing any great terrain changes here, so it should be okay. back slightly so we can get back above 300 feet. Steady. Don't know how well any of the terrain is coming across. I can catch glimpses of it below. Don't know how the YouTube compression is doing. But we're definitely IFR flying a non-IFR aircraft here. About 8 miles out. I'm sure the people down there are wondering who the hell's stupid enough to be flying a helicopter in weather like this. Got about a third of a tank left of fuel. About 7 miles. Now we're going to cross over the town. We'll have to watch for buildings. Airport, I think, is on the other side of the town. Vague hints of darkness coming out of the gray, showing that we're seeing the ground, sort of. Some roads. Oh, power lines. Definitely power lines. Back up to 300 feet. So the town's right ahead of us. Miles to go. This building's coming in. Yeah, looks like the airport's on the other side of the town. 400 feet, which should put us about 300 feet above the ground. See some buildings going by beneath us. Just about over downtown Gloucester. Miles to go. Plan is to try to come in, see if we can find the runway. There is a runway that runs kind of up alongside the buildings we're kind of heading for. Runway 04. The winds are pretty calm, that's why this isn't clearing out. We'll start slowing down. Get our speed back a bit. We're down to 50. Try not to rise up too high. Turning towards the airport now. So the runway should be right ahead of us. Start bleeding speed. Descending. Should be coming up for the airport. There's trees. There we are. It's taxiway. The runway. Watch the trees. Runway's off to our left here. Is. Just going to cross over here. Put her down right here. Forward slightly. And we are down. have made it to Gloucestershire. And that's what we were flying to for the last bit. Wow. Alright, let's get this thing shut down. And turn off the landing light. Collective is fully down. So we leave the nav lights off, instruments can come off, strobes are off. We'll leave the battery on so the lights are on while she powers down. And there we go. So guys, thanks for joining us for this first flight. Didn't end the way I thought it was going to be with the fog, but we made it all the way to Gloucester. And as long as I'm available on Tuesdays, we'll be doing this. Next week we leave out of Gloucester. We'll be heading southeast down into England and seeing what we can find. If you want to join us Tuesday nights, 1930 Zulu, Northern Europe server, and we'll be starting here at EGBJ. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. Hit the like if you liked it. Throw a comment in the chat if you want. We will see you on the next one. Bye for now.